Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can't be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the Jews like taught you. It's on you, tell the truth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kimberly with Unseen Twisted Truths. We are the People's Podcast. And here is my co-host, Henry.
Hello.
And we have, what do I call you, Big Wolf? Or
Uh-oh. No sound.
You got two different windows open. This one is muted. Unmute. Unmute.
Checking.
It won't let me. Apologize, everybody. I can't unmute you because you muted yourself. You have to unmute you. There's a little microphone next to your face.
Podcasts. These things happen.
Yeah. He's muted. And I don't know if he can hear me. I'm going to have to tell him.
Yeah, I have my laptop muted.
There we go.
I have my audio coming through my phone. But you can't hear me through the phone?
Nope. I can only hear you through the laptop.
Okay, cool. Then
I didn't turn the phone on. I turned your image on the laptop. Because if I turn your image on both of them, you're going to get feedback.
Right.
So anyways, what do you want me to call you? Because I called you
you can just call me Lex for now. I think it'll be easier if you just call me Lex.
Okay.
All right. Nice to meet you, Lex.
Anyways,
Nice to meet
this
you
is
too.
this is Henry.
What's up, man?
And I was supposed to have two other co-hosts on, but they haven't popped on. So tell everybody about you.
A little bit about myself. Started playing instruments back in the 5th grade. Started with the alto saxophone. Moved on to being interested in a little bit of the DJing aspect. From there, got a little bit older. Started to rap. Saw that it takes a lot of money to be able to rap. Once you do your first mixtape, you see how you want to get paid from it, but you got to clear all these samples and buy all these exclusive beats. So I went from rapping to making beats for myself to producing for myself and others. And now I've come full circle back around to playing the instrument, which is the electric guitar.
So when did you start playing the guitar?
It's been about 2 years now, I can say. But I've played for a solid year out of the 2.
And you're dropping some hot tracks on guitar.
I try to. Working, 80 hours a week. So I try to play whenever I can for the most part and just develop my style by myself, But in the last year, I've tried to, upload a little bit more and try to just live in the moment of positive restrictions is what I can call it right now, because I used to think when I first started, I used to listen to Hendrix and things of that nature, and I would be like, I wonder how he sounded 1 year in. I wonder how he sounded 6 months into it, and kind of compare it to myself and give yourself that boost to keep going, because man, it's really hard playing the guitar if you've never done anything like it before. So it's easy to just quit early on, especially when you're at the house practicing, you get 10 minutes in and nobody wants to hear you suck anymore. So Yeah, I used to definitely think about, where other artists are in their progress. So I was like, I'm only going to be 1 year in, 2 year in at this moment. So I might as well record it, put it out there, and those restrictions will be, what I was at the time, and you can actually release and see growth from there, because a lot of artists, you really don't even hear music from them until they're like 5 years in. Like Jimi Hendrix, he was active for 4 years, which was the end of his career, was when you really actually got music from him, as opposed to when he started at the age of 15 versus dying at 27. You get 4 years of greatness out of the artist, but you wish you could have just listened to Jimi Hendrix from when he was 15 all the way to 27. I feel like, if people saw where he was early on, and then compare that to themselves, a lot more people would embrace the journey of the guitar instead of he was great, but he was great with being in the last 15 years of his playing. You know what I mean?
I was surprised to hear that Glass Animals had been out for so long.
What did you say?
I'm sorry. Sorry, but I was just surprised to hear how long these artists have been playing for, and they're just now getting recognition. Like, I had looked up after Heat Waves came out, Glass Animals, they've been out a long time. And then I was having a real good journey going back through some of their older stuff, which is real technical with MIDI keyboards and stuff, and just being blown away at how are these guys not famous already. And yeah, Jimmy, that's a good point. I like that you say that. I was listening to some of your tracks here. I like that.
I appreciate it, man, because I read music back when I was playing the saxophone, but I cannot read guitar tabs to save my life. So I literally, whenever you hear something from me that I've posted, it's a freestyle. It's a one take through. I got my iPhone set up at the TV. The TV's playing the backing track, and the iPhone is catching the backing track and my guitar going all into one track. There's no do-overs, no erasing. It's just how I was feeling at the moment, and, what I was able to express at that very moment, so I appreciate anybody that can even listen to that, because, as a rapper, you can punch back in, or let me say these words different, or this enunciation, or, if I take a breath here instead of there, it can kind of, you can form a track into something that's more of art, as opposed to, just kind of winging it. For anybody to listen to it and be able to keep going, I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I really felt you on like Gone Too Soon. I could really feel that meant something to you. So I sat there and listened to all 13 minutes or so of it, and I'm like, it's nice to hear in improvisational freestyle musician, because it is a great way to feel, and I'd love sitting and playing guitar for hours and hours. It's just a great
man. That track was probably within my first year of playing too.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
So, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'd like to know, what made you choose guitar out of everything? Why'd you go from sax to guitar? I mean, you could still have control of your finger and stuff, but that's totally a different ear, let alone mindset.
I would say that the saxophone is very expressive, and the guitar will be its equivalent, as far as stretching out notes and kind of, letting the audience feel it in their chest. You kind of get that same effect with the guitar, and it's just crazy how expressive you can be within the parameters of the strings. I kind of think about it like physics and string theory.
So why aren't you interested in picking up the guitar anymore, or not the guitar, but the sax anymore?
Honestly, the price difference between the two. I believe I got my first guitar for like $116 from Guitar Center, and it was like let's see how long this lasts kind of thing. But saxophone is over $1,000 just for a pawn shop version.
Brass is expensive. It just is. Ask anyone in the symphony, it'll tell you that.
But I could see myself as I develop in musicianship with the guitar. I definitely could see myself kind of getting back into saxophone and blending the two with sort of like a jazz lead, electric blues kind of trap sound, you know, because trap is built on trumpets and that sort of thing. So it'll fit well. I definitely see myself getting back to that in the future.
So do you still rap?
Oh man, I believe the last song I rapped was about 2015. I kind of went away from rap and went more into the executive producing, kind of just giving the expression that I show in the guitar. I also do it within the beats and stuff like that. So I would send those out to artists, and then I could sit in the studio and really guide tracks that way, So
yeah, you must be real well-rounded having all that instrument experience, especially translating to different instruments. It goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah, definitely. As far as structure of a song, eight beats, within a verse, things of that nature, and really being able to compose music. I definitely feel like coming from a production background definitely helps you hold it all together early on.
Yeah, I wish I had learned more when I was younger.
So what made you get into music in the first place? Was your family or anybody else musically inclined?
My mom, she sings a lot when I was younger. But a lot of my friends, they make fun of me. They call me a robot or Terminator and stuff like that, because I kind of I've been playing football 20 years of my life. I played the guitar. I mean, you name it, I've done it. So I would say yeah.
The Terminator.
So I have a really weird question. How come a guy from Detroit go flip flop and become country? Like, you are so country. Like, you raise dogs. I mean, you're so country.
I would say that you get a broad band of music in Detroit with even just Motown, and how musically inclined they were. You got Jay Dilla, you got techno, almost Jersey style music. So I would say that just where I come from is a wide variety of music available. But I'm kind of an old soul I definitely love the instrumentation of a lot of the 70s music when they came out with the 12-inch vinyl with the song on one side and the instrumental on the other side. So that had a very big influence on, like you saw on my SoundCloud, a lot of the music is at least 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes, 10 plus for a lot of them.
Yeah, that's rare too.
The whole vibe.
Remember, like Pink Floyd, they do a lot of really cool. I like a lot of real weird fusion jazz stuff they do off the album.
Definitely, really a lot of trancey. It translates to dubstep, trap.
Oh yeah,
you name it. It's just a little bit slower. To your point, I believe that blues is so slow that you can catch on to it and kind of play it when you're freestyling early on. I would suggest anybody that was trying to get into guitar would definitely try electric blues to start off, because it's slow enough for you to be expressive and not feel like, you're not going fast enough or playing enough notes.
That's a real good point. Blues and folk music, especially. There's some really good folk music
with the swing jazz beat that they both have.
Yep, you can always. I got a weird question. What about I'm being left-handed? You're left-handed, correct?
So the funny thing is, I'm right-handed, but okay. I feel like I play guitar right-handed as well, but it's the other way around. I'm right-handed, so my fret hand is my right hand, which you play all the notes, and my left hand is where you trigger the notes from strumming. But So if you're playing left-handed, you're strumming with the offhand, which is, I feel like, is backward, because the hardest part is actually playing the fretted notes with your offhand, which would be the other hand. So yeah,
I've
I'm
tried.
right-handed. I play left-handed guitar, but I would call it right-handed guitar if you ask me.
That's insane. I had to ask about that. You mentioned Jimi Hendrix too, and he's a very famous left-handed guitar player. So I just
Yeah, it's crazy because
it.
we both have the same exact birthday, November 27th. I was born 1991, and he was born, I think, 1947. But we have the exact same birthday. Me, Jimi Hendrix, and Bruce Lee. So I kind of feel like, you know, I play like I have a blend of those birthdays going on.
That's a hell of a good birthday there. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy to find that out because I didn't even know before I started.
That's amazing. I'm left-handed, so I'm trying to wrap my head around flipping it, and I've tried on many occasions. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
So you ever think about?
I don't know why I play left-handed. It just feels right to me. That's the funny part.
It's all that matters.
So do you ever think about intertwining maybe the guitar, sax, and rap in the same thing?
Definitely. I think I'll be able to do it more so in the future. I have thought about it, but right now I'm working with a couple producers to fine tune the backing track to more so my style, where it's slow like blues, but it still gives a more modern trap, hip hop, R&B kind of sound to it. Which is kind of what you're asking, you know, am I gonna get the saxophone-y kind of sound? Yeah, just not from me right now. Definitely gonna come from a couple producers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also, I heard you redo one of the old songs from I want to say probably the 60s, 70s, an old like love kind of song. You redid it in I don't know, you only did a couple minutes of it, just a couple chords of
it. It had to have been Willie Mack, Mac Stroll. It kind of starts off pretty slow. It's like a ballad almost.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was just freestyling one day. I have so many takes of that song in my phone. I think the song is only 2 minutes long, but I have like 20 videos in my iPhone photo roll of that one thing. But yeah, that's definitely more so my style is the 70s, more instrumental music.
Yeah, I see that. It's kind of a more of a where they talked with the guitar, not to play it, but they played it because they felt it and they allowed you to feel it.
Yeah, and I pretty much want to stay freestyle based, because it's more of a connection between you and the listener as far as the current emotion state. And I came upon that because my favorite guitarist is Eddie Hazel, which you probably heard me play the song Maggot Brain a lot. That's like, it's in my favorite key, which is E minor. But he never, when he played live, he never played the song the same. So I would say that my favorite song ever is Maggot Brain. And then back when I started playing guitar, I went whole of every Maggot Brain performance you could find. I believe you probably will see over 20 different versions of it where there's always two guitarists playing the song. The secondary guitarist, he plays it note for note through the whole thing, but when it flips over to Eddie Hazel, there was always a crazy expression that you only got when you watched the concert from when he was in Maryland, 1973, or there's also a Detroit version where he blows you away. So you can definitely have like 10 different favorite versions of this Maggot Brain song, and I've kind of picked up on as far as this aspect of approaching it with a freestyle kind of expression to it. How you doing? Was it Boss Set?
Hey, hi everybody. Sorry I'm late.
That's all good.
Boss Set is my Thursday co-host.
How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Nice to see you again, Boss Set.
Nice to meet you. I'm trying to cut it up somehow. Uh,
That's
Can we smoke on
fascinating,
air?
Lex, by the way. Absolutely love to hear your take on that, on improvisation. And it's really cool to put it out there. You know, you follow my journey as I learn everything and improve style and stuff. That's awesome.
So
Yeah, just
my
from
favorite
moving around.
guitar player is man, it was on the tip of my tongue. I apologize. Go ahead. Oh, it's Stevie Ray Vaughan.
You know, I would probably put him at number 3.
Okay.
Mainly because I love his technical aspect, but a lot of his best songs were remakes of Jimi Hendrix and things of that nature. So I give Jimi Hendrix the nod based on his innovation and what he was able to come up with and create. Even though that, you know, other guitarists can show how good they are by playing it. I would definitely put him number 3 behind Eddie Hazel and Jimi Hendrix. But we were spot on in top 5 as far as Stevie being up there. What's your favorite Stevie song?
I don't know. I remember when it was on a cassette. I'm much older than you. Um, I remember when I was on the high school bus, sitting in the back of the bus, and that first cassette I got of him playing, and I just heard it all the time. I can't tell you exactly which one.
I would say that my favorite is his what is it called? Texas Flood at El Macambo.
I had like 4 cassettes, and I just kept playing them over and over and over.
Yeah, I would say
couldn't even quantify what.
Would you say, Henry?
Oh, I was gonna say I can't even quantify what my favorite song would be. I couldn't even quantify what my favorite genre would be. Props to knowing something about that. It's very hard though.
I like I said before, when people can make you feel what they're feeling through what instrument they use.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you say that because, like, both of my younger brothers, they don't even listen to. No offense to rap, but they don't listen to it before noon, and it speaks to your point about feeling it. Like you can positively or negatively digest music, and definitely a lot of people feel the rap and the the plight that some people are speaking from when doing it. You know, not saying that it's a bad genre, but you know, sometimes you can't get it in your system until afternoon, like some people.
I can receive that. I don't like listening to the trap music and stuff like that. I like listening to stuff that's higher vibrational, something that I can feel like I'm growing from.
I woke up and put Wu-Tang on as loud as I could this morning. We're all I swear, Castro's everything around me in the morning. I'm feeling good and up and at 'em. I love it.
I'm not mad at you. I can't do it because I feel energy, so I can feel what's going on, and it'll affect me.
Sometimes it's Slipknot. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I want to be fun angry.
See. Bossette, what's your thing?
I guess I listen to a little bit of everything. Like y'all said, it's definitely a mood. It's like whatever I feel like listening to, and it do affect what you doing, whatever. Because if I'm listening to some trap music, I'm gonna be speeding. If I'm listening to that driving, but if I'm listening to some jazz stuff or some laid back, I notice I drive, relax and chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than that, I listen to all kinds of music. Music is another form of communication. Some
For
people don't know
sure.
how to talk well, so people make music to express how they feeling. So
For sure.
that's why I love music.
Very true. Driving music. That's a good point too. What are you listening to when you're driving?
When I'm driving,
Jazz, like you said, that's a good thing. So you're not going nuts.
and
Putting the
I
pedal
just
down.
did a 10-hour drive to Atlanta this weekend, and we was listening to Tina Turner, to Temptation, to rock and roll, it was just fun. It was like a girls trip. It was fun, but we brought the kids, so of course it was like, boys in the car and stuff like that. They got them a chance to listen to other things too than the same old music.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I was like, wow, Tina Turner really has some more hits than I, knew.
Yeah,
She
wow.
was rest in peace to her.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe, and this is just my opinion, I believe that she is the female of rock and roll and soul together.
Oh, she was bad. Ever seen Thunderdome, Mad Max? Wow, yeah, she's awesome.
She a mix of everything, like pop, rock and roll, a little bit R&B. She's just amazing, amazing. Her voice is one of a kind. Nobody can never mimic.
Who, Tina Turner?
Yeah,
Yeah, and they say that her husband was like one of the architects of rock and roll, so you can see the influence between the two.
yeah.
Yes, for sure, for sure, for sure. So, Wolf, where can or Lex, where can people find you at?
I just made a Spotify. I'm behind on that, but I do have a SoundCloud that people can find my music on. SoundCloud and YouTube is really where I've put songs on SoundCloud. I've put a few videos on YouTube, and then I have some reels on TikTok and whatnot. But SoundCloud would be where you can find playlists of beats and actual guitar music.
So, if you can go in where it says comments, private chat or something, and write that down, and I can copy and paste it and put it in here so YouTube can get it. It is on your description though. I made sure that I put your SoundCloud on your description, and I sent your SoundCloud
So did
to
you want the
Henry and
SoundCloud
Buckhead.
link or the YouTube link, or what do you need?
Both.
Just your name, just the name, because I can only copy and paste, and the link
Okay,
won't
yeah,
pop
okay, I
up
got you.
like that. Just so people know who you are and where to find you at. So I remember, I think I found you on, I don't know if you paid for advertisement or something, but I think it was an advertisement that you paid for, and I found you as one of those what are they called, sponsored by or sponsored.
Really?
I think
That's crazy
so.
because
Yeah.
I've never implemented a budget for like sponsoring posts and stuff like that. Are you talking about Facebook?
Yeah. Did you pay for it one time? You had
No, no. I share my own stuff a lot. I post some stuff, and in between, I sneak some music in there, and I guess it worked a little bit.
because I don't know how I found you, but I found you, and we don't have.
We have some mutual friends on Facebook.
Okay.
But yeah, like the same stuff, so I'm sure as much as I share, it will come across to you. I'm happy that you said that because I've never paid for the sponsorship.
Because it came across you playing music one time, and then I went to your page and added you, and this was at the beginning of not this year, but it was, I want to say last year, towards the beginning of last year. You just started playing.
Yeah. Just started to upload stuff. I started to feel like, if I'm going to be freestyle based and I end up passing on, I would like to have, it is what it is as far as what I was capable of creating. And, if I love it, then I will hope that it will reach people and move them the way it moved me. And, it just is what it is. You can't really hold on to, I'm gonna wait till I'm 10 years in and then I'll be the best that I could let anyone hear. I'm like, it is what it is. Don't be afraid to just pick it up and start going. You got to start somewhere, and as you go, you'll get better. And whoever likes it, I'm glad that it touched them. You know what I mean?
So I started the podcast in July of last year. It was just after I started the podcast. Henry, I don't know if you remember or not, but I said, man, I met this guy.
You
and
did
it was
share
probably
music.
like
I've seen you too. That's how I thought.
yeah. So I'm
I
thinking it
remember
was
that.
around August, September of last year, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And
I
I was
believe
like,
that was like my 1 year anniversary. I think maybe.
and you said that you said, this has been 1 year in, and I'm getting better at it, and you did this thing, and I was like, oh my god, he's dope. So I went and told everybody about you on the podcast and shared it with Henry and stuff, and I'm like, check him out, and I'm gonna try to get him on. And then I reached out to you finally around December and booked this date. But I'm just saying, like, I remember how much you've grown from just then to now.
Thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And to the what I would say to anybody that's ever thought about playing guitar is after 90 days in, when I was like, am I going to keep pissing everybody in my house off or not? I actually came across these headphones called Boss Waza Air headphones. They're like $400, but they call it a personal application system where you can have them on, and it has a transmitter. Let's see. They're made by Boss, but you plug this into the guitar and then it transmits it to these. You can either play with them on your head or you can turn it up and just have it sitting in the room somewhere, which is how I normally record. I will have the backing track coming through the TV, and I will have these both next to the TV, and everything that you've ever heard me record was coming through these and into my iPhone. But it literally took me from playing 5 to 10 minutes before everybody in the house was just like, throwing cats and dogs at me, to being able to wake up at 2 a.m. and feeling like playing and get an hour or two without anybody even knowing that I'm playing. So I would definitely recommend these over an expensive amp to start off, because you don't need the amp. You don't want the whole city hearing you practice, but it'll keep your confidence high to be able to play. And I would definitely say these are a must if you're going to play, because it literally can keep you practicing an hour or two a day without upsetting anybody.
Okay, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to write that down in the comments. I'm going to pin it, and when I do the little clip, I'm going to get you some advertisement. I'm going to try to get them to sponsor you. I'm going to shoot a message out to them, and I'm going to send them the clip of you speaking on it.
Definitely. I would definitely say that.
Wow.
So
if I could pinpoint what,
if you want to start over from here and then talk about it, and I'll start from the clip from here to there.
Okay. So these are Boss Waza personal amplification headphones is what they call them. I got to a point where I had a regular amp and I was about 90 days in. I could maybe play 5 to 10 minutes a day, and you don't really get any better doing that. And I came across on it was Amazon Prime. These headphones, they're about $400, but it was probably the best $400 I've ever spent when it comes to music, producing, rapping, studio time. Literally, if I'm home alone, I can set them on my bed, turn the amp all the way up, and it plays like a smaller amp. Or I can turn it down, put them on my head at 2 a.m. And get a lot of practice time. So with the first 90 days of playing, it was but from 90 days on to 6 months, I literally was at the 6-month mark. With my earlier music, I'll even do a timeline of 6 months to a year within the 13 songs that you've heard, and it literally will be a lifesaver as far as confidence building and allowing you to play and get better and stick with it. It's Boss Waza Air is what they are. They do have Boss Waza for bass, but they're gyro activated, so it basically places an amp in the room. So if you put them on and you turn it to static, as you turn the headphones, it'll actually feel like you're turning away from the singularity of where the amp is in the room. So you'll actually hear it more through the right ear if you're having on static. And if you turn, then it'll be playing through the left ear. So it kind of gives you the feeling of having an amp in the room, but it really gives you the full guitar experience without you having to cut it short by, being considerate of other people.
So is it Boss Wazzle AIR?
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I didn't put the air part, but yeah, Boss Waza Air. Like I said, you link the transmitter to the headphones. Once it's set up through Bluetooth, you plug the transmitter or the receiver, I should say, into the guitar and go from there.
Really cool tech.
Show us a little bit of something that you can do.
All right. Since we didn't do a sound check on that was my bad, but I'll let the music play first. You tell me how that sounds. And then if that's coming through good, I'll add the guitar to it.
Okay. And also, FYI, just another time, Henry would love to play the drums too, playing guitar.
Sorry. What'd you say?
Henry would love, on another bass, another time, Henry would love to play the drums to your guitar. Because he can play the drums.
Oh, yeah. We definitely...
Henry
I play drums on a MIDI keyboard. I've been layering and looping all kinds of stuff for years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
We can definitely work on something. How's this sound?
Real clear.
It sounds all right?
Real clear.
It's one of my favorite bass players, Bootsy Collins.
Ooh.
How's that sound?
That sounds
Pretty
good. I
darn
can
clear.
hear it.
Right. Hopefully together they don't sound too bad.
Is there a way to turn your laptop down so we can see you play?
So that's Boosie Collins, Munchies for Your Love. That is in E minor, which is that's just the key. But
E minor is a fun one.
If that sound all right, I'll play another one.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Give me 1 second.
For just learning, like, and then doing it like what it would be called ambidextrous, doing it opposite of what you are. It's just astounding.
I think that I'm doing it right, though. I think everybody else is wrong. Everybody else that plays guitar, they doing it wrong.
As I was gonna say, though, that means you're using a different part of your brain, though.
Mm-hmm.
For you to be able to do it the opposite of your dominant, you're using another part of your brain.
I think that might be why it's so satisfying, because it,
that tickles part of your brain that doesn't get tickled very often.
Right.
Doesn't that make sense, though, Henry, to do it the opposite of what your dominant is?
I met him once.
I've done everything the opposite way, and I'm still alive.
But doesn't it give you a different feeling, though? It gives you a different feeling.
If I could flip the guitar around and play it that way, I sure as heck would, but everything is very foreign to me when I try that.
You should try playing it right-handed, Henry, one day and see how it feels.
I will. We'll check that out.
And tell me if you just feel different thinking, doing it.
I'll play something. I'm guaranteed to play something.
Yeah.
My strumming might be, so here we go.
Every time I ran on the field. So I have to ask you a question. I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
So how do you feel after you hear that? After you play it, how do you feel?
How do I feel? I feel how it sounds. That's the best way I can describe it. You know, I kind of equate a lot of losses that I've had over the last few years, starting in COVID and moving on past there, with what comes out when my fingers are moving, you know. That's basically where I draw a lot of the melodies and things of that nature that you hear from, you know, personal experiences, more so, you know, close deaths and things of that nature. It kind of helps me propel through and really get through the blues.
I felt pain, happiness, heartache, and then happiness again. Henry?
Same. You really feel what you play. It's a testament that you can keep melodies going for so long and keep it fresh, keep it going. Pain is a good contributor to music, and then COVID, of course, really propelled everybody into finding out a bunch of stuff about themselves.
What did you feel when you heard him play that, though?
I would say pain and gratitude.
Yeah. Boss, that would you feel?
I felt like everything's gonna be all right. Like that's how I felt. Like it's gonna be all right.
The
Yeah.
silver lining, kind of, and it's funny you say that because the song that I was playing was the one I was speaking on earlier, Maggot Brain. And are you hearing that static? So I believe the song came out 1971, and it was actually the original song is a freestyle. And what George Clinton told Eddie Hazel was play as if you heard that your mom died, and then play as if either it wasn't real or it was a dream, or you found out that she hadn't passed.
That's why I felt that pain plus gratitude plus a gratifying. It was a mix. It was a mix of emotions. I felt like I wanted to cry for a second.
Thank you, I
So
appreciate it.
to come, not I hate being compared to people, but I hear a lot of influence. Do you like Buckethead, Lex?
I definitely I wouldn't say that I've listened to him a lot, but I definitely, when I do listen to him, I love his technical approach. And that's something that I aspire to obtain, as I keep going on my journey into guitar, being able to navigate these six strings the way a lot of these professionals do.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah,
Had to
Buckethead.
ask.
I love his version of Maggot Brain, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does a really good job with it. A lot of people know him from Guitar Hero, but he actually does a lot of cool jazzy and bluesy stuff, which people don't know. That's why I had to ask. Very cool stuff. Do you mess with a capo at all? I'm sorry, I had to squeeze that last one in there.
What is that?
Do you mess with capos at all?
Like the where you can move the root. I've tried it, but only at the top, just to kill a lot of fuzz. But
Okay.
to move the root, I don't really. I just, because I have it tuned to standard EADG. What is it? EADGBE, and I just go from there in the positions. I don't really venture too far into the dynamics yet, just because it kind of throws off your bottom line of where things are when you start.
Absolutely. You got to match it up to everything. There's different key. You're in different key every time you move your capo. So I had to ask about that too. I've absolutely loved capos. And that was a big step for me. I was trying to figure out how to use a capo and what it can allow you to do. It does give you a whole different world. So I was very, very cool stuff.
So I'm trying to get Henry to venture more into a bluesy kind of soul-y, I want to say like what they would do on back in the day in the chain line.
Mm-hmm. So how far have you gotten into the pentatonic scale?
How far have I? I practice pentatonic scales every day. I've been playing.
Okay.
I've been playing guitar about 20 some years, and then I play bass, keyboards, drums, all that.
So
fun
what do you think is keeping you from that genre?
Ability to. So I don't put it online all the time. When I write music, I want to put out a whole blues album. I just don't have a band. I'm actually very isolated out in Yale. And the extent of me being able to write music is putting it into my MIDI keyboard. And I'm not really good with technology. So really the only thing holding me back from doing a blues album or anything is probably a drummer or somebody. I've always wanted to do that. I want to put a country album out, to be honest with you. Then I want to do a rap album.
But if you hear Henry with his voice in not just his guitar playing is beautiful, but with his voice added to it, I'm telling you, it's gonna give you an old feel,
I do a lot of weird stuff with music. I played drums in a few punk bands, and I played bass in a couple of punk and hardcore bands. Yeah, it's been a weird ride. Really drunk through a lot of it.
What did you do, Henry? What did you do recently for the first time? You've been trying to do it, and you got enough courage and whatever to do it. Just recently.
Man of Constant Sorrow. I've been trying to write a guitar line and play it for a long time. This shows you I'll never ever be done practicing guitar. I'll never be. I am a 100% know everything guitar player. I think that's the best thing I could tell people is you never stop getting better or leveling up or whatever you want to call it. I like saying level up because I play video games. And I played Man of Constant Sorrow from Oh Brother Where Art Thou, and I've been playing folk and stuff just in the shadows for a while, and I absolutely just love that song. And I wanted to play it and sing it, and then I wanted to just sing it because I couldn't figure out the guitar, but I just rewrote the guitar to be more kind of jazzy and bluesy and upbeat and sang it that way. And now I'm very happy with it. So that was dope.
I'm extremely happy with it. Bossette, do you have anything to say?
Not today. I'm be more ready next week.
Okay.
But I'm happy that you allow me to come on the show and meeting you guys. I'm just listening. I love the music for real. Yes.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, a lot of people, you know, as Black, Indian, whatever we call ourselves, we steered away from the actual essence of music and the way it's supposed to make us feel. And I feel like we need to come back to the guitar. And that's one of the challenges I've taken on is, you know, learning it myself and then showing our youth that, you know, it's more to music than, you know, just what we saying. You know, it's actually a feeling side to it that we need to tap into, you know, on a positive level.
Music's really important.
It is, and I like it like the boss that said it. It really is a form of expression. I like it when we go back to the roots before we even use the spell of words, that music was the way of communication.
Yeah, rhythm, music, understanding. Rhythms, everything follows rhythm through the entire universe.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that energy it plays off because we can feel it. We can not only hear it, but we can feel it. Even if you're deaf, you can feel it.
Facts.
So I love that fact that we're able to feel it because like I said, for real, I really wanted to cry during it because I felt the sorrow, but then I felt happy and joy and gratification, and then I felt sadness again. So I felt those emotions going back and forth, and you know, Prince does that. Prince did that a lot for me, and that's what Henry, to me, reminds me of Prince. And Prince does it. He did that often. He got you to feel what he was doing when he played the guitar.
You make me feel like I should convert the video to audio and upload it.
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should. Because I'm telling you right now, I felt it. Bossette?
Yeah, I definitely felt it. That's what I meant by I felt like all right. It felt sad, but it's like you don't want to cry. So you felt like, okay, like I'm all right. Everything gonna be all right. You know.
And Henry, you felt it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Make it your passion project. Go record that stuff. You miss every shot you don't take. And if I wish I'd have took more shots. So yeah, do this shit right now. Feel good doing it. That's awesome.
And you know what you can do? And sorry, Henry, but you know what you can do? You can use it as a lesson and as a tool, because sometimes we don't realize how we are until we're able to critique ourselves, until we're able to see what we do.
Facts. I completely agree 100%.
And you could do both. So you could do audio and
an audio and a visual. You can do both, for sure. Because this podcast itself is on audio and visual. I'm using two different streaming services right now to get out everywhere.
Okay.
Gosh, I love the future.
So we are on visual on 3 different places live right now, and then we are audio over 30.
Okay. Yeah.
And fun fact, my cat sat there and listened the whole time too. She listened to me and she approves.
And my dog dreamt during it. He was running and chasing, and I thought he was gonna start barking a second. But he stopped and he became calm during it. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is actually a first for me as far as performing. I've gone live, you know, and I can kind of see that people are looking, but you know, this is really the first time I've actually played for people that are really, you know, tasked with listening.
I'm glad to be
So
a
I
part
appreciate
of
it.
Me
Stepping
too.
stone for me. I really appreciate.
And to say this, like, I don't do music, but I'm very in tune with music. Like in my past life, I was a soul guitar. I played the sax in my past life in a different time, and I feel as music's in my soul. It's always been my whole life. And Bossette, she's around music 24/7. She does a lot for music. She goes to different events all the time. She's really big into music too. And then Henry plays. So as a music people that hear you, that love music and passion of music, and the guitar and sax are my two favorite instruments. So to hear you play that and to feel it, because I wanted to see if I was able to get into it and feel it. And I laughed. I don't know about you guys, but I laughed for a second. I don't know where I went, but I was somewhere.
Yeah. Pretty much that's what I want to release as an artist is just more polished, but the same idea as a one take. That's how I was feeling at the time. Maybe it can, somebody will be feeling the same and really, gravitate toward, I want to put when I release music, I'm probably going to put like a date and a time on it, almost for an astrological kind of essence to it, as far as that time, that place, that atmosphere, and just record it.
Yeah,
I like that idea for real. I do, honestly. We're about to wrap this up, but I appreciate you coming on. We're over an hour into it, and I think that's a good idea because it's almost like a time chamber. You're putting something into the universe, and you're setting a stamp on it.
Facts. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I felt that. I think you should, honestly. I really honestly do. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing your passion with us and your new talent and allowing us to feel this with you and go along that journey. When you can take somebody from this realm into a whole nother realm, then you've done something good.
Thank you. Maybe I'll do it again in the future and I have a little bit more, things developed and things of that nature. I'll come back with, see what my progress is and see where everybody is and things of that nature. See who bought the Boss Waza and saw some progress in 90 days, things of that nature. So
for sure, I would love that. And also please do something with Henry, because I'm telling you, that's a jewel too. So do something with them, because utilize the blessings, the people that we meet.
Yeah, I'll put your Facebook in the chat or whatever, and we can definitely do something.
Yeah,
I sent him all your information, so he actually has all your information. He'll just send you a friend request and get a hold of you. But he's already got all your information.
Okay.
But I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate all my watchers and listeners for tuning in to Unseen Twisted Truth. We are the People's Podcast, and we love you. And without you, there wouldn't be a reason that we're here. So I appreciate you.
Thank y'all.
Ashe, everyone.
Nice to meet you, Lex. Good night, everybody.
No wolves in the circus.
No wolves in the circus.
Hell yeah.